Now, something else that's a little worrisome, I guess, is Shibarium's sloppy launch yesterday. Supposedly, the chain is stuck with 1.8 million locked in, and people don't know what's going on. Why is this happening? You know, this has been building up for quite some time, right? So what's going on with it? There is a lot of FUD spreading. People started posting this. Satoshi Kusama, we effed up hard. We can't recover the ETH bridge. But you know what? That turns out to be fake. Satoshi released, a blog post basically saying that that is not the case. That is FUD. The reason why things are down is because of the insane traffic, and they are working on it, right? They are trying to scale, but the reason why they're down is because they weren't prepared for the traffic, right? So, again, I was saying yesterday, seemed like it was a successful launch. Not much has happened. Well, I guess it is successful, maybe too successful. That's why the whole chain is locked up. So hopefully they can fix that soon. Today we have a big launch. Shibarium. Shibarium finally launched today. It's also L2 for Ethereum, so it's a scaling solution. And this beta saw 21 million wallets being created on the very first day. And supposedly there are this many dApps waiting to come aboard Shibarium, right? So overall, seems like it was a pretty successful launch, right? But I think most people are disappointed with the fact that SHIB did not pump. In fact, it went the opposite direction. It went down 8% or something, right? So unfortunately, it's one of those buy the rumor, sell the news, right? It's down 9% today. But overall, keep in mind, still up 31% in the last 60 days. One of the better movers in the last 60 days, right? Still up 15% in the last 30 days. So it can't go up forever. But I do think a lot of people expected a little bit more. You got to give them time, right? Give them time and see what happens. I wonder, I didn't even check Bone. I wonder if Bone did anything. Actually, Bone just went down too. But again, not everything, not all successes are measured with an increase in price, okay? Sometimes the market makers, the whales, they just dump, okay? Does not make it unsuccessful. So keep that in mind. We'll see how this goes, but definitely the L2s overall are growing by leaps and bounds. And again, one day we're going to get that super app or super game where it will onboard 10, 20, 50 million users. That's when crypto really changes. That's when these chains really become valuable and when these tokens and coins truly stand out and possibly decouple away from Bitcoin at that point, right? But right now, still waiting for that to happen. These are just the building blocks, the foundation, the network protocols to support those super apps and games that are coming in the future. So keep that in mind. Now, one of the biggest problems that we have in the US is who gets the say? Who has regulatory control, I guess, right? Or the right for one asset to another, a derivative to another, like who has it? There's a big battle going on between SEC and CFTC. Now, we know Gary, he wants it all. He wants it all. But recently, yesterday, we saw that, or was that today? Yesterday or today? But Coinbase gets the nod to launch crypto futures. I think that was this morning, right? That was actually a big FU from CFTC to the SEC, basically saying, hey, screw you. We don't need to ask you. We control futures. We control commodities, not the SEC, right? So unfortunately, there's a little back and forth right now in the United States, right? We have uncertainty, and unfortunately, that's no good, right? Especially when things are boring, stagnant, maybe a little bit fuddish. This battle is definitely not helping. So hopefully in the future, we get some clarity, right? But we're all looking for that Bitcoin spot ETF to come, right? Couldn't come sooner. Now, according to Solana's and Toli, he believes that it's all nonsense. He believes that Solana is the dominant chain, and basically all these other L2s that are being developed or are already here for Ethereum are garbage, and they're not going to work. And the best thing is to just utilize Solana. And totally have said many things like this in the past. Also pointing fingers at Cardano and at Ethereum, even at Bitcoin, right? And, over the years, he has been humbled by the fact that even though, yes, Solana is so fast, there's been many, many, many outages, way more outages than any other L1 or L2 out there, right? So there's still work to be done for Solana, right? But it is still a top 10 coin. They are still, in contention and very fast, very scalable. He has that right, but let's not forget how many outages there has been so far on Solana. So he has to be careful with his choice of words. But speaking of L1s, L2s, right? There's so much going on right now. Optimism, for example, very popular L2, has just hit an all-time high of 900,000 transactions, okay? That's all-time high, despite the fact that prices right now are pretty low, right? The market is kind of stagnant, a little fuddish, but still, Optimism is growing like crazy. Arbitrum, also another L2, just growing like crazy right now, accumulated users, and how much ETH is deposited continues to go up and up and up and up. So obviously, there's a lot of development happening right now. Polygon, ZK EVM, again, look at the numbers, look at the graph. It keeps on going upwards, right? Those are just the beginning. Now, other things that's happening, I noticed this. Polygon partners up with SK Telecom, and this is a joint partnership to incubate and invest in promising Web3 projects. That's fantastic. So obviously, there's still a lot of building at this stage, right? Build. If you're a project, if you're a leader, you definitely want to build during the weakness, and then when the bull run comes, right? When the parabolic run comes, that's how you benefit and profit, right? And then I saw this Injective 2.0, the new token economics just came out. And basically what's most important about this is there's massive amount of burning. So a lot of chains are deflationary, and they make it so by burning a whole lot, taking like part of the fees, right, transaction fees, and you putting that in a bucket and then using that to burn X amount of tokens, right? So that's the biggest thing with Injective. They're a DeFi L1 out of Cosmos, right? A whole DeFi ecosystem. They're L1, but they have a whole lot of stuff going on. But that's something new that they introduced. And, many other projects besides Injective, even Polygon is trying to work on 2.0. A lot of people are working on the next stage of their evolution, right? And it's exciting. It's exciting to see what they introduce.